right.
Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad and Josh in the studio, ready to bang out this last of the week 8, halfway through the season, ready just to get you ready for the fantasy playoffs, get you ready to win a championship. We're talking trade deadline hype, because that's all it was hype, and then they let us down. Let us down hard. How you doing, Josh?
Good. Like you said, I was kind of disappointed, man. I thought there was going to be some big trades, maybe because earlier there was talk of Le'Veon Bell being moved.
Robbie Anderson's been talked about.
Robbie Anderson, maybe OJ Howard. There were some big moves that were supposed to happen and just never came to fruition. So, kind of a disappointing.
A lot of defensive moves and cap moves, and it was the normal NFL trade deadline stuff. I think we get so hyped up because we're so used to baseball and basketball. These crazy. I wonder if the NFL should move the trade deadline back a couple weeks. You know, just so there's some more teams that are like officially out of it. If you moved it back one more week, you could have a couple teams that are like, yep, we done. And maybe you get more stuff done. I don't know. But there was one trade that happened that does affect fantasy, and it affects a Thursday night game. Kenyon Drake is an Arizona Cardinal. You got some kiddos getting some snackos there, Joshua?
Yeah, she's just waking up. The kids are refusing to sleep since we've been back from Albuquerque this weekend. So,
well, yeah.
Just loving it.
That's what they got to do. But Kenyon Drake is a Cardinal. I didn't really see this one coming. Chase Edmonds dealing with a hamstring. David Johnson dealing with was an ankle back. I don't know what he's got. He's got a lot of things going on. They're probably both not going to play. And we'll get into this in the Thursday night. I don't want to steal too much thunder from the Thursday night game, but is this an upgrade from the Miami offense?
For Miami or for Arizona?
For Kenyon Drake, fantasy outlet.
I think it definitely helps him a lot. And it lets me know that they are very concerned about David Johnson's health. I mean, they gave up nothing to get Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake wasn't going to resign with Miami anyway, but I'm definitely optimistic. And we could be seeing a big RBBC because they said they were going to use Chase Edmonds going forward, but he does have a hamstring injury. That's what his deal is. So I like Kenyon Drake, especially Thursday night, but we're just going to have to see how this plays out. It could be a running back by committee.
All right, let's get into some news because there's some news going on. Joe Flacco is hurt, might be done for the season for your Broncos.
Oh, thank goodness.
How do you feel about this, Josh?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Are you really excited, or
if he doesn't want to be here, I don't want anything to do with him. I'm tired of stupid Joe Flacco over there calling out the coach and everything. Like, no, well, you didn't play a great game. You completed 20 passes for 174 yards.
Okay, well, in the fantasy output, though, Brandon Allen's coming in, going to start week 9. Drew Lock is still injured.
He's healthy. He's ready to come off IR.
But he's not going to play. He's not going to start this game, at least week 9.
No.
Pass catchers, running backs, how does this affect the Broncos? Cortland Sutton, Phillip Lindsay, Royce Freeman. Ugh.
It's a downgrade for Sutton.
Everybody?
Sutton, really. I don't think it's down for the running backs. If anything, they're going to get more throws dumped off to them. Could help the running backs.
Okay, we're going to talk about kickers, everybody's favorite position. First off, Mike Badgley is ready to kick for the Chargers, so they've kept the roster spot. He's going to be out there kicking. He's in 93.8% field goal percentage. The reason I bring this up is that the Patriots have said bye-bye, Mike Nugent. Hello, Nick Folk. I'm just saying this because these kickers are on decent offenses that are going to score points.
Yeah, there was some more news that came out of today. Brandon Cooks is seeing a concussion specialist.
Yes, he is.
So who knows?
Do you think he plays after the bye?
He's got the bye. I think there's a good chance, but we've seen it lately with Sterling Shepard and other guys who the more concussions they get in a short amount of time, the more likely they are to take more and more time off to make sure they're good, to make sure they have no symptoms. So there's a good chance that he won't play. Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the Pittsburgh running back situation because we'll talk about that in the Monday night breakdown. Andy Dalton, though, they're on a bye this week, but they are benching him for the rest of the season. Well, until Ryan Finley. They're going to see what they got from Ryan Finley.
On his birthday.
Fourth-round rookie quarterback. Yeah, Andy Dalton getting benched on his birthday.
Oh.
So.
Do you really care, though?
Care about what? Andy Dalton getting benched?
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I do care is we're getting a fourth-round rookie in there, Ryan Finley, who I don't know what to expect. And there was hints that A.J. Green could be coming back in Week 10.
Mm-hmm.
At least with Andy Dalton, I know what I'm getting for A.J. Green.
It just doesn't seem
I don't know what I'm getting with Ryan Finley.
It just doesn't seem like Andy Dalton has made the change and adapted to this new offense very well. So
no, but if you're an AJ Green owner, you've been holding on in this whole time. Week 10, he's coming back. Are you going to start him with a rookie quarterback out there?
I don't think you'd feel confident starting him, no. Unless you're desperate.
What if I told you they were playing Oakland?
Well, hey, if you're desperate, fire him up.
It is Week 10. There are 4 teams on a bye that week. Green Bay, the Giants, Seattle, and Tennessee. So you may have to start him. I don't know. Oh, sorry. That's not right. That was a lie. I moved over my little slide thing. They're playing Baltimore that week in Week 10, and there's 6 teams on a bye. Denver, Houston, Jacksonville, New England, Philadelphia, and the Redskins. So, woof.
Yeah, you might have to start him.
Okay.
Against Baltimore.
Any other news you want to talk about? Or do you want to get into these last 2 games of Week 8, and we can put Week 8 to bed?
Okay, so Trent Williams for the Washington Redskins did report after the trade deadline. He reported and still told them that he had no intentions of playing or practicing, so I don't really know why he reported.
It's to get the season on the books. Because unlike the Le'Veon Bell situation, Le'Veon Bell was on the franchise tag, which meant you can keep tagging me and I'll just keep setting out. Trent Williams has 2 years left on his contract. He needs the seasons to count to get the contract years to fall off. So that's what I think the difference was. I think he's just trying to – I thought honestly he was reporting to get a physical so they could trade him. That's what I thought was going on, but that's not what happened.
Would have made a lot of sense.
Yep. And that's it. Really, that's about it. Kind of boring day. Thought it was going to be nice. Thought we were going to have some more moves. But let's get into the Sunday night game. Actually, a really good game. Packers-Chiefs. Packers came out to a 14-point lead in the first quarter. And then the Chiefs scored 17 unanswered in the second quarter. And then we had a nice little game the rest of the way. And then Matt Moore just came up just a little short. Travis Kelce kind of laid a dud. Aaron Jones balled out.
As he's been known to do when he doesn't fumble.
When he doesn't fumble. He caught 7 catches for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. The plan, the rumors are that Davante Adams is going to play next week. If Davante Adams plays, do you think – obviously we don't think Aaron Jones is going to average 8 targets a game, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you see Aaron Jones getting similar passing down work with Davante Adams there? Like 4 – is he going to get 4
I think
catches?
there's a good –
Cut it in half?
I think that's reasonable. 4.
Okay. And then he got the majority of the carries. He didn't really do a lot with his carries, but he just got them. He did 5.2 a carry, but didn't really break any big ones. He broke his big ones to the passing game.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, he might listen to this podcast because ever since you said he's not worth it, he's been worth it. He said, let me work it. Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
He's the number 4 quarterback in all of fantasy right now. So yes, he's very good.
Yeah. And Matt Moore. Rumors are that Mahomes might play this week, but really looking at week 10 probably for Mahomes.
That's fair. I mean, do you want to start him against Minnesota anyway? I mean, let him take another week and play Tennessee. You know?
Well, do you want to play Matt Moore this week? 4 teams
against Minnesota?
No. Yeah, Atlanta, Cincinnati, the Rams, and New Orleans. So no Drew Brees, no Tyler. Well, not Tyler, Jesus. No Jared Goff, and no Matt Ryan.
No, I got no interest in starting Matt Moore.
And then Kyler Murray's playing San Francisco, which we'll get into.
No.
So
I'll pass.
Okay. LaShawn McCoy started the game and got all the carries in the beginning, and then he fumbles the ball. And then Damian Williams takes over. And Damian Williams does nothing on the ground, but he gets the touchdown. What is going on with the running backs here in Kansas City? Do you see Damian Williams having what he did last of the season last year?
No, I can't say that I do. I think they're full-blown running back by committee right now. Andy Reid said that he was going to do it, and he hasn't traditionally done this before. But it looks like that's where he's at. And instead of going the 60-30-10 route, which he's traditionally done, it seems to be more of the hot hand approach, which I hate. Every fantasy owner hates it, but
okay, but everybody says that with Andy Reid. But let's talk about the running backs he's had. Jamal Charles. Pretty good, right? In Kansas City. He had Kareem Hunt. Pretty good running back. Kansas City. Back in Philadelphia, he had
Deuce.
LaShawn McCoy and Deuce Staley.
Yeah.
Pretty good running backs. Like, he's never had, like, middling running backs. Like, yeah, he's got LaShawn McCoy again, but this is not the LaShawn McCoy that was 26 years old in the Snow Bowl. So, Tyreek Hill, he's fast. And he lets everybody know that he's fast.
He's very fast.
Those defensive backs for Green Bay, whenever they were manned up on him, they were just turning around and sprinting as soon as he started running towards them. And he would just turn around and just sit down and wait. Travis Kelce did have an okay game, but the reason I said he had a bad game was he dropped quite a bit of his targets. He was targeted 8 times, only caught 4 of them. He dropped a second touchdown. He dropped a couple more that almost caused interceptions. I mean, you're starting Travis Kelce, not worrying about it, but what about your boy Sammy?
No, I think you would have liked to see more out of him. I was encouraged by what I saw at Sammy Watkins. I mean, he looked good. I can't complain with that. He had 8 targets, tied for second on the team. So I thought Sammy was all right. He looked
healthy.
Yeah.
He looked healthy.
Which was what you want.
You're not really going to want to start him without Patrick Mahomes anyway.
Correct.
But this week could be a good week for him. Because he probably won't be manned up against Xavier Rhodes.
Probably not.
All right. Anything else from this game?
No. Do you still feel like Jamal Williams is a weekly start?
He's a flex.
I mean, he got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, he's a flex just like Royce Freeman. Like, I put him in that same boat as Royce Freeman.
Okay.
He's in that range of the RB2 flex-ish guys.
All right.
Because once you get out of your bell cow guys, like, and then Aaron Jones has been known to fumble the ball, and Matt LaFleur gets mad and just says, Jamal Williams, go milk this game away.
I don't care how talented you are. Go do it.
Yep. All right, Monday Night Football. We had a banger. Ugh.
It started out very surprising.
Are you talking about the Dolphins getting 2 touchdowns really early?
Off jumped turnovers? Out to a 14-0 lead. Yeah, they still dropped off to a 14-0 lead.
One of them was off a turnover, short field, got a touchdown, yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw 2 touchdowns, threw 2 interceptions, whatever. You didn't start him. Mark Walton, maybe the only guy that probably was started because everybody's like, well, he's going to be the guy. 11 for 35. He is the lead back there.
Hey,
But does that matter?
it does not.
Okay. Devontae Parker, 8 targets. Is he an okay flex with these buys coming up? 3 wide receiver leagues. If you had to start a wide receiver, is he the one you're going with? I know Allen Hurns got the touchdown, but it was only 1 catch on 1 target.
As long as it's
Albert Wilson, same thing.
as long as it's Fitzpatrick, that's the guy. We thought it was Preston Williams for a little bit. It appears to be Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker is the most talented wide receiver they have, but that's not really saying much. If you're going to have to start,
Preston Williams wasn't bad either. I don't. He had 7 targets, only caught 4 of them for 42.
Yeah, if you're going to start a guy, go with Devontae, but you should always have your dreams limited when you start one of these guys.
All right, Mason Rudolph comes back from getting his just clock knocked off and throws an interception.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention, Ryan Fitzpatrick's 2 interceptions went to Minkah Fitzpatrick, who was a Dolphin earlier this season.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick to Fitzpatrick. That was funny. All right, Mason Rudolph, he at least threw the ball down the field in this game. Sort of, kind of. They were going deep. They were taking deep shots. So honestly, I think if Xavier Howard didn't go out their number 1 corner, I think we would have saw a lot different. Because as soon as he went out, the play calling was like, well, whoever they put in to replace him, we're just going deep against that guy. They ran like 4 plays in a row, just going deep to that side of the field. The Deontay Johnson long touchdown, kind of fluky. It was the 3rd and 20, and he just ran behind everybody and got wide open. Juju, though.
You're
happy to see that, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're happy to see 9 targets.
This is kind of what you thought you were going to be getting out of Juju when you drafted him. So I think that's good. I mean, I guess this would be more of a future question than right now, but do you think Deontay Johnson has kind of supplanted James Washington as the 2, even when Big Ben comes back?
Will Big Ben come back till next season?
Yeah, but
I don't.
It's speculation.
I think so because he's playing that slot.
Yeah,
he's kind of in the slot. He's that other guy there. I don't know how Big Ben's gonna use that. I really wonder, honestly, how it's gonna work when Big Ben comes back. Are they gonna go full rebuild? Now, the running back situation, we kind of alluded to it earlier. James Conner had himself a game, 23 carries, 145 yards, and a touchdown. Also had 3 catches, only for 5 yards, but it's 3 catches. PPR has 3 points. But right at the 2-minute warning, hurt his shoulder.
Yep.
They're saying sprained AC joint. We haven't heard back about the MRI if it's a collarbone. If it's a collarbone, he's out for the year.
Yeah.
Benny Snell also hurt his knee in this game early in the game. Only got 13 yards on 5 carries. Jalen Samuels was inactive, but they expect Jalen Samuels back.
Couldn't come at a better time.
Jalen Samuels from last year when James Conner was out had a really good game. Pushed a guy in Dynasty that shouldn't even have been in a championship game all the way to the championship game.
That did happen, yes.
Almost beat you in the championship.
Yep.
Jalen Samuels a must-own. He's a must-own, right?
Has to be.
Has to be, because we know what he's going to get used as. I know this isn't the same offense from last year, but he's the number 1 running back for the Steelers who have a good offensive line still. What did you put offers in for everywhere Jalen Samuels is open in all your leagues?
Yeah, he's my number 1 priority.
Okay. And by the time you guys hear this, waivers probably cleared in your league. Is he still your number 1 priority, even if you heard that James Conner was coming back?
Yes, because I don't expect James Conner to stay healthy.
And with all the injuries he's having, with the way the season is looking for the Steelers, I don't see them giving him 23 carries every game.
Yeah.
All right. Monday Night Poopers, man. So I was talking to Hattrick, if you guys have been listening since last year, about two things. First thing was you remember when ESPN used to have the Sunday night games?
Yes.
And they were terrible. I didn't even watch Sunday Night Football because they were just bad games.
They were bad.
Then ESPN gets Monday Night Football. And guess what? They're bad games.
Well, ESPN doesn't determine the scheduling, though, right?
They paid billions of dollars. You think they have a little bit of say. Because, hey, NBC gets a flex.
They do.
They're getting ready to start their flex. They're in their flex part where they can be like, no, we don't want this game. We want that game. And I just wonder, man, like, why, these games are so bad on Monday Night Football. They're boring.
It has been rough. I mean, and Thursday night games have been better this year.
Yes. Thursdays are getting better. I don't know if teams are learning how to prepare for Thursdays better, maybe. Because you got to think about that, too. Like, short week, preparing for the games, that changes a lot of things. And the last thing I wanted to bring up is that in our redraft league, I'm tied in first place with your wife. The bottom three teams are other people that either are current hosts of this show or have been hosts of this show in the past. And I'm really disappointed in that.
I don't understand why that's needed to be brought up right now.
I won't put the way they're ranked. Only thing I will say is poor Eric is fourth in points, and he's sitting down at the bottom.
That's the way it happens sometimes.
All right. Before we get into the Thursday night game, I know I kind of told you to do this earlier. I don't know how much you prepared for it. I want to go through position. We're going to pick one of each of the – we'll do three big positions. I'll keep tight ends out of it because I think we all know who the boom tight end of the first half is. Probably going to be who?
The boom tight end?
Like the tight end that like
Darren Waller.
MVPs. Darren Waller. And defense is the New England Patriots, who are averaging 20 points a game.
And the bust would be Zach Ertz.
And Zach Ertz, yeah. Zach Ertz probably a bust because you spent so much on him, and he has done – well, O.J. Howard might be worse because at least Zach Ertz is getting you points.
Yeah.
All right. Now, quarterback, who is your – we're going to do your first half MVP and your first half bust. That's not good. Don't listen to that.
All right, so –
all right, quarterback, who is your MVP?
Are we talking surprise MVP or just who is the –
however you want to go. If you want to go surprise because he was a late-round pick, if you want to do just because he was great, because I think when we go running back, your MVP is going to be a guy that was taken with the first four picks.
Okay, so I'll go one of each then real quick. So Deshaun Watson, MVP, he was kind of expected to be really good. He's the number one quarterback in all of fantasy right now, easy. The one who I'm surprised by, and some of this has been his schedule, was Dak Prescott. He's fifth best quarterback in all of fantasy right now, and he was a value pick for sure. So that's my guys. I'm really surprised by him.
Okay. My fantasy MVP for quarterback is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, no surprise.
And I think you left him there for me because I think you wanted to go that. He's only had one dud game. It was at Pittsburgh. We put up 11 points. Other than that, 30, 30, 21, 24, 30, 23. He plays New England this week, so but he gets Cincinnati right after it, so as long as he don't get hurt. Lamar Jackson. And then my bust guy, quarterback wise. This is kind of hard, but I'm probably gonna just go Sam Darnold. I know he was hurt and he's had not great matchups, but he showed flashes at the end of last year, right? And you thought maybe 2 QB league he could be a guy. But he really hasn't done it. He had the one good Dallas game. Almost negative 7 points against New England. I get New England defense is good, but -7? Woof.
No, I agree. And then what was alarming to me is Baker Mayfield.
I left it for you because I figured it was.
It's low-hanging fruit, right? I mean, the guy came in with so much hype. He was supposed to be a quarterback savant, and he's 26 right now. You have guys who haven't even started the whole season, like Teddy Bridgewater, Daniel Jones ahead of him. I mean, it's Andy Dalton is a better fantasy quarterback right now than Baker Mayfield. Gardner Minshew is a number one quarterback, and Baker Mayfield isn't even sniffing a number two quarterback. So, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed in that.
All right, your running back MVP, Josh. Go ahead and give it to me. Say it.
Well, it's easy. It's
Who is it?
it's the unicorn, Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. And no, I mean, that is exactly correct. The one thing I will say is if you want to bring up a guy who was a second round pick that we had the injury concerns about, who's right there with him in points, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook. You got incredible value out of him. He's been a great player, man. I can't argue with that.
You might have got him late second round. Very similar to a Todd Gurley from a couple years ago.
Now, the next two guys on the list, 3 and 4, you're kind of surprise MVPs, if you will. Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler. We did not expect these guys to be top 5 running backs. But so far at the midway point of the season, they are.
Yeah, well, and Eckler we thought would be good because Melvin Gordon's holdout. But even after Melvin Gordon came back, he's had one terrible game. The rest, I think, are above expectations with Melvin Gordon in.
Absolutely.
What about your bust running back?
For me, it's got to be Le'Veon Bell. Where he was taken and what he's given you, I understand he's still an RB2, but it feels real bad. It doesn't feel good with what Le'Veon Bell has given you, even in PPR. Le'Veon Bell has been a huge disappointment this year.
So I'm going to give two. They were probably third or fourth round picks. Damian Williams, and then David Montgomery. David Montgomery moved up on the list just from the last.
Yeah, that's fair.
Chargers. Other than that, he has been almost unusable. So those are two guys that were, taken pretty high in your list. When we talk about second half guys you want to target, I'll bring up Le'Veon Bell here in a second, but I understand why he's a bust right now. All right. You ready for some wide receivers? Wide receivers. Who's your MVP right now?
Cooper Kupp.
Yup.
Cooper Kupp has been phenomenal this year. Where he was drafted, he was drafted as like the 17th, 18th wide receiver off the board. I puts him in the 4th round range. For him to be the second best receiver in all of fantasy, he's had one game under double-digit points. And that was the San Francisco game where the whole offense was terrible. Cooper Kupp he's going to win some leagues this year.
I'm going to bring up two guys here. One, Michael Thomas, who hasn't had any games in PPR under double digits. Even without his quarterback. That's the surprising part, is we kind of worried when Drew Brees went down, would it affect him, right?
Absolutely.
And even Alvin Kamara out. And then the other guy, Chris Godwin. You're probably going to use him as your surprise. But, man, has he been. He had one game under 10 points, and last week was kind of low. But even still, with what you probably spent on him, 6th, 7th round pick, probably going maybe after guys like Josh Gordon, Antonio Brown, who we'll just say is a bust. Yeah. You want to give some other surprises out there, or you just want to go to bust?
No, I want to go to bust because there's two guys that come to mind, but I have to
Okay, I do want to give one surprise before we move on. DJ Chark. Just because he needs to be named, because he is in the top 5 of wide receivers right now, and very surprising. Above guys like Nuke. All right, let's go into your bust. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that's fine. So there's two guys that I was thinking about here, and one of them I'm kind of going to give a pass because he lost his quarterback, Juju Smith-Schuster, where he was taken. But Odell Beckham Jr., that's the guy. Like, to be the 29th best receiver in fantasy football right now, who has had his quarterback all year. He's had 2 games where he's caught 2 passes. That's just not going to get it done. I'm sorry. You're supposed to be one of the best receivers in the league, and we just haven't seen that this year.
I agree. I think a lot of that is because we talked about Baker Mayfield as a bust as well because he was overhyped. I think we thought everything was going to be better, but maybe, Eli closing his eyes and throwing those Hail Mary passes wasn't a bad thing for Odell.
Guess not.
Um, bus guys, it was kind of hard to do this because there wasn't wide receivers. One of those weird ones. I was gonna say Nuke, but then he's came along strong the last couple of weeks and got himself right back in that. Sammy Watkins after that first week and Tyreek Hill going down, I think that kind of was a bust because I think we expected so much after week one and Tyreek Hill's injury. We're like, oh, Sammy. It's going to be a show. I know he got banged up, but he's behind Odell Beckham, Juju, and those guys too. Brandon Cooks, though.
Yeah, that hurt.
Really, both Rams receivers, honestly.
Well, I mean,
soaking up all the targets.
At least Bob Woods is
Robert Woods in
wide receiver 2. Brandon Cooks is 39th right now. It's atrocious. Yeah. Atrocious.
But yeah, that's pretty much the guys. I mean, you could say Corey Davis is a bust, but I think a lot of people are low on him. Devontae Adams has been hurt, so I'm not going to hold that against him. Golden Tate was out with suspension. Wide receivers just been kind of blah this year. Like, nobody's really stepped out of it other than the guys we talked about.
Yep.
All right, so looking forward in the second half of the season, what guys are you going after maybe to start prepping for your playoffs, right? I know you haven't looked at a lot of schedules yet. You know, we're still halfway in there, but it's about that time where you got to start setting yourself up. You know, I know you got to get through these buys, but as soon as these buys are over with you got to be ready for the playoffs. Do you have any guy in mind you want to go after?
So we'll stick with the wide receiver position. And right now, the guy that I really want to go after is Keenan Allen. He's going through that midseason slump like we talked about. They did just fire their offensive coordinator. We know the connection that Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen have with one another. And even with him being slowed with a hamstring injury last week, he still caught 7 passes for 53 yards. I expect him to be one of those guys that bounces back and finishes the season very strong.
Do you worry at all about his playoff schedule? After the bye, so week 13, at Denver. You know, Chris Harris is still there. At Jacksonville, which isn't as scary without Jalen Ramsey, but it's still Jacksonville. And then week 15, Minnesota, Xavier Rhodes. Week 16, championship week, you're fine with Oakland.
Yeah, so honestly, the Broncos matchup isn't that scary either. I've watched this team, and watching this team a lot as a fan, they are quitting. So you don't really need to be that afraid. Unless something happens and they have an incredible week or two now that Flacco is gone, which I'm not expecting, there won't be much hope there in Denver.
All right. One guy you want to go after is probably pretty cheap is Christian Kirk. Just came back from the injury, PPR machine. They're going to throw the ball a lot in Arizona. It's not a great playoff matchup, but the good thing is week 16 at Seattle, they have not been able to stop anybody through the air, really. So I think you can get him a lot cheaper. Keenan Allen, you're going to have to pay for because people still remember the first couple weeks.
So this is something that we had talked about earlier. The playoff schedule and going down the stretch for these Cleveland Browns, right?
Yeah.
I think your receivers, Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr., are worth an ad. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, if Baker Mayfield can get out of his own head, because honestly, that's the problem, is he's turning the ball over more than Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hindering this. Do you worry at all with Nick Chubb with Kareem Hunt coming back? With the Cleveland Browns as well?
I think they're going to use him. And right now, we weren't expecting them to be in this position. You know, they've won 2 games. We thought at this point they would be at least 500.
Fighting for that division, especially as soon as Big Ben's hurt. Like, they're going to win the division for sure now.
And it hasn't looked good. So those are some guys that you got to go after. But, yeah, Kareem Hunt very well could affect Nick Chubb's stock. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you.
So you talked about Le'Veon Bell being a first half just dud, right? Really letting you down. You need to go out and buy Le'Veon Bell. I'm sending out offers in pretty much every league I'm in that I don't have him because his next matchups are great for the rest of the season. He's got this week Miami, then the Giants, then Washington, Oakland, Cincinnati, Miami, Baltimore in week 15, and then the only hard matchup he has is championship week is Pittsburgh. But you got to get to the championship before you can worry about it.
Bingo.
He could be a league winner. It is still Le'Veon Bell. He's still been good when they give him the ball.
Oh, I'm not arguing with that at all. I completely agree with you.
I've even tried to trade Chris Carson for Le'Veon Bell, who's been way better throughout the first half, but has a really rough schedule towards the end there. He's got Philadelphia, Minnesota, the Rams, Carolina, and then week 16 he does have Arizona. But other than that,
there's plenty of guys out there in the running back front. I think you could go and buy cheap. I would say Joe Mixon. Yeah, Joe Mixon that you can go and buy. Probably even Matt Breida cheap right now. David Montgomery. A lot of these guys, bless you, have good value, and you can get them very decently priced right now. And those are guys that I think are going to end up having a good rest of the season. They're going to pop.
okay. If you're a Chubb owner, are you going out and trying to get Kareem Hunt?
You should, yes. You absolutely should.
Okie dokie. I don't know why the SMU game came up on here, but thank you, ESPN. All right, Thursday Night Football. We got Arizona and the 49ers.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Okie dokie. Let's make this easy. What Cardinals are you starting?
Oh, just so many.
Remember, there are 4 teams on a bye, so it isn't like we can just be like, nope, don't start them, don't start them, don't start them. Atlanta's on a bye, so no Matt Ryan, no Devonta Freeman, no Julio Jones, no Calvin Ridley. Cincinnati's on a bye, no Joe Mixon, no Tyler Boyd, no Auden Tate that you've probably been starting. The Rams are on a bye, so no Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks, Todd Gurley, possibly Henderson, Jared Goff. And then the Saints are on a bye, so Breeze is out. Latavius Murray's out. Alvin Kamara's out. Michael Thomas is out. A lot of guys are out this week, so it's a lot harder to say, not going with them, but Cardinal side of the ball, Kyler Murray.
Do you want to start any players against this vaunted San Francisco defense? They're in the top 3 categories against all positions: wide receiver, quarterback, running back, and tight end.
Yes.
Who do you even want to start here? Because I can't think of anyone that I want to start here.
Have you looked at your wife's redraft team for this week?
No, it's her team.
Okay, well, let me tell you who her starting running backs are. Alvin Kamara on a bye. All her running backs are on a bye this week. So she has Kenyon Drake. She's probably going to be starting Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, she's probably going to have to start Kenyon Drake.
So I think Kenyon Drake could be okay. It's a dart throw play, but they're at home. He's a pass catching guy. They're probably going to be down. There's not going to be bad weather like there was when they played. Who was that they played in that freaking monsoon?
They played the Redskins.
Yeah. So we're going to be indoors. We're going to be on, turf. So Kenyon Drake maybe can get in the end zone, get maybe 5 catches.
Okay.
Larry Fitzgerald. Do you want to start Larry Fitzgerald?
No.
Not at all. No, okie dokie.
No, I mean, I'm telling you, San Francisco's defense is legit.
They are very legit. They're too legit.
To quit?
Too legit to quit.
I don't know. I think you have.
Would you start Kenyon Drake over Mark Ingram, who's playing New England?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this week is a rough week. Like, you got to look, and you can't just pass off these Thursday night guys as.
Yeah, but New
dude,
England's defense is just otherworldly.
But that's Baltimore. There's a lot of starters. That's Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray this week.
Lamar Jackson.
I mean, it's still, but they're playing New England. It's
but he'll get yards with the old legs there, bud.
Yeah. Okay, 49ers side of the ball. This should be a lot easier, right? Because I'm not scared of this Arizona defense. Patrick Peterson's back, but who is he covering? Emmanuel Sanders? He don't go in the slot. Patrick Peterson don't go in the slot.
No.
So he ain't covering Emmanuel.
No.
So you're starting Emmanuel Sanders. You're starting Tevin Coleman. Matt Breita's probably not going to play. Jeff Wilson Jr. is not going to play. Would you be willing to fire up Raheem Mostert this week?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you start Raheem Mostert over Kenyon Drake?
Yes.
Okay. I agree. Jimmy Garoppolo, is he an okay play? You going to go poop right now, dude?
Plug it in.
Okay.
Oh, why
Jimmy Garoppolo this week.
No. Jimmy Garoppolo actually might be a pretty good play. I mean, the problem is that this is a run-first team, even with Arizona being literally the worst team against quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't throw the ball that much, so
there's not a lot of good streaming candidates out there.
This is your best option.
He is one of those guys, and it's a Thursday night game. It's going to be indoors. They're favored by 10, but it's a low over-under. Jimmy Garoppolo. George Kittle's an automatic start. Don't worry about that. Is that it?
Yeah, you don't want to start any of the other receivers. You definitely want to start this Niners defense. Oh, they are good, girl.
Would you start him over the Patriots defense, Josh? Who are playing Baltimore?
No, and in Dynasty I have both of them, and I will still.
That's why I ask you. You're still starting New England. This is the best matchup. This is the hardest matchup New England defense has had all season.
Yeah, but I got to ride that hot hand, baby.
Okie dokie. All right. Anything else from this game?
You dance with the girl that you brought to the ball. Okay. No, I think that's it, man. It's not going to be a barn burner for sure. This is one we can probably just skip altogether.
We say that, and it's Thursday night, so they'll probably both score like 40 points. It'll probably be a shootout. No. Kyler Murray probably be out there just dropping dimes.
It's going to be
Larry Fitzgerald will think he's 25 again.
It's going to be San Francisco controlling the clock and running this game out so they win. It's going to be boring.
The Cardinals come out and get some quick touchdowns. I'm just saying.
That's not going to happen.
Okie dokie. All right, man. Can't wait to get into this week because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Like Lamar Jackson or Matt Stafford this week.
That's good debate. I'm ready.
I know. Stuff to think about. We'll get into that on the next show, though. Hopefully Eric's back in a couple of weeks because we need our third man in here to make these shows last an hour and a half long.
Yeah, we need another wheel.
Yeah.
Or a bicycle.
We need a tricycle.
Yeah, right now we're a tricycle. We're a bicycle. We need a tricycle.
Yeah, we're no Queen song here. We don't want to ride a bicycle.
No.
All right, Josh, send us home.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Josh. He's Brad. Eric is somewhere over the rainbow. So make sure you guys hit us up on Twitter. Brad is going to be at Tack Jones. I'm at FFJoshHughes, and Eric is at GunsOfVeld19. The show, the handle on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram is at EmptyWagonFF. Hit us up. Let us know if you have any questions or anything we can do to help you. And if not, we will see you in a couple days. Later.